Hello, Shark Juniors. It's Mr. Van Brimmer coming to you today to talk to you about the SAT school day, which you will take next week during the school day, absolutely free of charge. You should have or will be receiving this booklet, which is your SAT School Day Student Guide. Within it, as it says over here on the side, there is important information about the SAT, including how to report your school scores to colleges and schools, test taking advice and tips for the SAT, as well as some practice questions and other resources for you to practice and get prepared for the SAT. So many of you probably have not taken the SAT before and are wondering what is on the SAT. Well, this graphic right here is in the first couple of pages of your student guide. It outlines the three components that we take as part of the SAT school day, and that is a reading component that is 65 minutes long with 52 questions, a writing and language component which is 35 minutes long and 44 questions, and finally a math component that is 80 minutes long and 58 questions. We do not take the essay portion of the SAT. Also in those first couple of pages is this graphic right here about practicing for the SAT. The College Board has partnered with Khan Academy to give you free personalized practice that you can access anytime and anywhere. So those are two good pieces of that student guide that are probably most important to you right now as you get mentally prepared for the SAT. So the question really is, why does the SAT matter to me, and why should I give it my best and try my hardest during this school day administration of the SAT? Well, if you are planning on going to college, most colleges do weigh the SAT or an ACT score in their admissions process, and the better that you score on the SAT, the better chance you have of getting into your first college of choice. But even if you are not planning to go to college right now, a lot changes in a year. You may find yourself a year from now staring down high school graduation and deciding that maybe college is for you and you want to give it a try. Well, to get into most colleges and universities, you are going to need an SAT or ACT score, so you might as well get that now just in case your plans change in the future. And then finally, some of you just know that you're not going to go to college, but that doesn't mean the SAT isn't useful. Because if you are having difficulty passing the FSA reading or writing or the Algebra 1 or Geometry EOCs for graduation, those are graduation requirements. You do have to pass the reading and writing FSA, and you have to pass either Algebra or Geometry EOC for state graduation requirements. But here's the great thing about the SAT. You can get a qualifying score for those requirements from the SAT. So if you score well enough in the reading and writing and language portion, that can count for your FSA reading and writing score. If you do well enough in the math portion of the SAT, that can count for your algebra or geometry EOC score. So that is a very great reason to take it seriously and do your very best. The other thing is, again, this is an absolutely free attempt at taking the SAT. Most times you would have to give up a Saturday, plan it well ahead of time, and pay $50 out of pocket to take the SAT. Again, this is absolutely free. We look forward to seeing you on Monday morning for pre-administration and on Wednesday for the actual taking of the SAT, and we hope that you do your absolute very best. And always remember that you can't hide that shark pride.